is the average age for motherhood or for parenthood for that matter, is it going up, the average age?
Yes, I think it's the most fertile age group now is around 24 to 29 years old. However, what we've noted is that in the last 5-year period of 2011 to 2015, we saw a rise in adolescent pregnancies. No? Women between 10 to 19 years old getting pregnant at a faster rate than before. And in 2015, we actually saw 207,000 adolescents giving birth. 160,000 of them were to girls 18 years and below.
Okay.
So this is a trend that has been increasing, and we've been looking at surveys that showed that younger women are being influenced by things like their access to internet, to social media.
Okay.
So while there is a decline in fertility in other age groups, it's the adolescent age group that we're also watching out for, because there is 207,000 adolescents giving birth can lead to other issues like can it lead to further another pregnancy while you're an adolescent, and that leads to, again, if your family is poor, then you have children at a young age, you may not complete your education. You may not have access to higher paying jobs. So the cycle of poverty continues from one generation to the next.
Expound a bit on the observation, not necessarily the conclusion, but expound a bit on the observation or the theory or the hypothesis that the advance in technology, in internet, in access to content, and so on, may have something to do with this.
Oh yes, there was a study made by the UP Population Institute. It's called the Young Adult Fertility Survey. It showed that for girls between 15 to 19, there was a sudden increase of those who were engaging in premarital sex. The last survey showed that only around less than 20% of girls, 15 to 19, had premarital sex.
The last survey was when?
2003.
3, okay.
Yes. So from 2003 to 2013, that number went up from less than 20% to about 30%, 31%. Young boys engage, more go into premarital sex much more than girls. But the phenomenon was that young boys stayed steady, went up to around 33% having premarital sex. But girls really caught up to about 30%, 31%, which shows that 1 in 3 15 to 19-year-olds are engaged in premarital sex, and none of them have real access to family planning services or even the proper counsel of a health worker. They engage in sex in a situation where they're not able to protect themselves from pregnancy as well as from sexually transmitted diseases. So we're looking at a younger population that's at greater risk of health issues as well as
but how do you make that connection? Not that I don't see it. Obviously, the internet, social media, digital platforms, mobile phones, and so on is one of the biggest game changers intergenerationally. But nonetheless, how do you make that connection?
Well, the study showed that access to internet is now at around 80%, with an equal number of young people having their own smartphone. And that also meant that the earlier you had access to internet, the greater likelihood that you would have premarital sex. There was also an indication that if you are exposed to pornography, particularly here in Metro Manila, I think in Region 3, again, the higher likelihood of having premarital sex. Also, some non-sexual risky behavior, drinking, smoking, were also likely to lead into that. But we also noted that there was a gender difference in that most young girls don't want to have children yet, but they feel that they're being forced into this situation by their partner, whoever they are in a relationship with. There are some indications that migration, the lack of one parent is affecting that. The fact that these young people are left at home without proper guardianship.
So the OFW phenomenon, also
be,
the OFW household, such as it is also a factor here.
All of these things impact on the family life of these young people.
Okay.
And that's why it's important to get interventions like what the RPRH law says.